I want to say good afternoon to you. And once again, tell you how much I appreciate you listening to this video, watching this video rather. I'm a little late in responding to some of y'all's comments this week. I'll get around to that. Every one of them means so much to me, and I hadn't forgot to do it. I just ain't got that far yet, and I'll make sure, Lord willing, that I take care of that. I always want to respond to every one of them because every one of them deserves a response from me, and I appreciate so much you doing that, and the shares. I've told you many times before, the shares is what means so much to me, because what we're trying to do together is get the word out to a lost and dying world, that people would hear the truth, even from somebody like me, and put their faith and trust in the Lord and be saved. That's what we want. I don't count. I'm nothing. Just a mouthpiece that the Lord seen fit to use. I don't have to hear about them getting saved. I just want them to get saved. It ain't like we're going to keep a tally record of it. That don't matter. God's keeping a record of it. I don't have to know what that record is. There's a book that He keeps called the Book of Life, and I'm just thankful that my name is recorded there. And I want to talk to you tonight about riches, wealth. And I want to take a little reading lesson in the 2nd chapter of James. In the 5th verse, James said, "Hearken, my beloved brethren, hath not God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom, which He hath promised to them that love Him?" History records in about 1849 there was a gold strike in California, and lots of people, I reckon, sold their belongings here and got up enough money to make the trip from the east all the way out there, I guess, and trying to find gold, working themselves to death, trying to find something that would make them rich in this world. And we've all, I guess it's just in man, to want to be wealthy and to have things and this, that, and other. But what I want to talk about tonight is how much more important it is to have what Jesus called true riches. In the 16th chapter, I believe it is, of Luke, in about the 11th verse. True riches. Earthly wealth, as we all know, is just going to burn up one day after a while. Jesus tells us to lay our treasures up in heaven and not here. But it's still a fight, ain't it? We want to lay back and store, for a rainy day, and I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that at all. I believe the Lord teaches us to be wise with what He's led us to have. And because the rainy day is going to come, but being saved and the things of God, those true riches, so much more important than our earthly wealth would ever be. Most people in the world are concerned about money. I don't blame them. I get concerned about it too. We're all human, and we all have to deal with that. But I want to read just a few more things. And in the book of Proverbs, in the 23rd chapter, in the 4th verse, he said, "Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings, and they fly as eagles away toward heaven." They fly away as eagles toward heaven. riches will sprout wings and get away from you real quick. We all know that. So, the true riches, though, they don't go anywhere. They'll be there when we need them. And salvation is the truest riches that I know of. And it will always be there. It won't sprout wings and fly away. It won't leave you. The Lord said, I won't leave you. The Bible teaches us to be content with such things as we have. And it's a hard thing to do, I know. As I said a while ago, I'm right in there with y'all. I'm not trying to say, look at me, and because I'm no different. I struggle with it myself. We all do. But if we get too attached to our things here, and we try to build up these businesses and stuff so we'll have all this wealth and things, it just sprouts wings, and it'll fly away. It'll be gone before you know it. And if you don't lose it while you're here, one day after a while, the Lord's going to come back, and there's going to be a loud shout. And the angel is going to put one foot on the land and one on the sea. And he's going to declare that time shall be no more in this earth, and everything that we see and we know to be here on this earth is going to burn with a fervent heat. It's going to melt. It's going to go away. But the true riches will still be there. They won't go anywhere. I thought about how that all down through our lifetimes you've heard the people call these get-rich-quick schemes. You'll used to be commercials on television. I guess mostly now it's online, and you'll get stuff in the mail, and if you'll do this, then you're going to get rich. You sell all this stuff here, you'll have all that you need and more, and just trying to appeal to that part in us that we desire those things, as a human man. But I want to talk about a get rich quick thing that's not a scheme. It's an actual fact. Jesus gave everything. He became in poverty just so we could be rich. When we get saved, you go from being dead broke in your inward person, your inward man. That's what gets saved, not this outward. But you go from being flat broke, a pauper, nothing on the inside, to all of a sudden, you're a child of the King. Your Father owns the cattle of 1,000 hills. All the silver and gold is His, and there's an inheritance waiting at the end of this life. We had nothing, and then all of a sudden we talk to Him, and then we have everything. That's what I call getting rich quick. The world don't see those things. They don't look on the inside of us and see what the Lord's done for us that's been saved. A lot of times people, when they get rich, they'll drive bigger cars and live in a bigger house and live in a certain area where everybody else, us regular folks, ain't allowed to be. And, that's just the way people are. And I'm not putting them down for that or anything. I don't mean it that way at all. But a lot of times people, when they get rich, they'll flaunt that. They want everybody to know that I'm successful. I want to tell you something now. There was a man that was clothed in purple, and he fared sumptuously every day. He had all that he could ever want or need on this earth. And then there was a beggar that begged for the crumbs that fell from his table and laid at his gate, and the dogs licked his sores. And you look at these two men and you think, this one that was called the rich man, and didn't even bother to call his name. And everybody would look at him and we would think, well, that's the one that's rich right there. But this rich man lifted his eyes in torment. Both of these men died, and he went to hell. But Lazarus, he went to Abraham's bosom. We've talked about it, I think, on here before.
Lazarus was a whole lot richer, even when he was here on the inside, because that's the real man. That's the part that really counts. And I feel sorry for people that's got everything here, but they don't have nothing over there. I feel sorry. I hate it for people that they spend all their life reaching and scrapping for everything they can get a hold of, but they forgot to call on God. They never got saved. And that's what makes you rich on the inside, is having a testimony, a heartfelt salvation. That's riches. That's true riches.